All right, you guys, we're here today to talk about the Lion pedal by Universal Audio. This pedal is no joke at all. There is a wave of guitar players these days switching from more traditional tube guitar amplifiers to pedals like this. Most notably, the Edge of U2 just replaced all of his tube amps and basically all of his gear with Universal Audio gear. So with this thing making such a splash and such an uproar in the guitar community, I wanted to try it for myself. So where did I try it? Here at Oracle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants and the site of this year's Monster Jam event in the Bay Area. So I've got to say, I've played the national anthem over at the Oakland Coliseum 9 times now. And this was the first and second time playing it over here at Oracle Park in San Francisco. There were differences between both places, but there were some advantages of playing here at Oracle Park. I didn't have to wear in-ear monitors this time, so it felt like I could just rock out in the whole stadium. And that part felt really awesome. Felt like I was right at home. So back to the Lion pedal. This thing that literally fits in the palm of my hand really feels like you're playing through a Marshall Plexi amp that's cranked up all the way. In my case, for the performance here, I dimed the pedal. I just turned it up. If you could turn it up, I turned it up. That's the presence, the master volume, the boost, the treble, the mid, the bass. I just turned it up all the way. And it really felt like how it would feel to crank a Marshall Plexi, which was just amazing. I can't speak to just, how incredible it is to have that with something that's so portable and lightweight. So that was awesome. But let's talk quickly about the guitars that I was going to use for this performance. Plan A was to use my buddy Jim's guitar, which is this ridiculous but awesome Flying V. As soon as I told Jim that I was playing the Monster Truck National Anthem on guitar, a light bulb went off in his head and he thought, Jules has to try this. This is a pretty ridiculous little firework pyrotechnic flashbang launcher dealy-mabob from the headstock of the guitar that Jim used to use in an old band of his back in the day. So the night before the performance, I went over to Jim's house and we practiced this outside at his house. And what do you know? Bang! Look at those flash powder bombs going off. As fun as that was to try at Jim's house, I didn't want to get kicked out of Monster Jam for blowing up the whole place. So with regret, I had to just do the anthem performance on my guitars. But Jim, that was so cool. I'm not sure if I'll ever get to do that sort of thing again. So thank you, buddy. That was a once-in-a-lifetimer right there. So I decided to go with plan B, which was just to use my own guitar. So I used my custom shop Fender Stratocaster. I kind of wanted to do a little ode to Jimi Hendrix between it being a Monster Jam, Monster Truck National Anthem, and having this pedal that really emulates the Marshall Plexi sound. I thought it'd be fun to do it on my Strat. It sounded great. And the Strat really loves that pedal. But there were points at this performance where it was so cold that I could barely feel my fingers. And there were actually moments in this performance where I couldn't even see my fingers because I had these flags waving in my face. So for day 2, I thought I'd try it on slide guitar, which I played on one of my oldest guitars that I've had for about 20 years, my J Tercer. It's kind of my trusty old funky slide guitar. And man, I bought that guitar for $100 20 years ago. And it sounded so great in the stadium with that Lion pedal cranked. I thought it was amazing. So just to recap, this time I used the Lion pedal for my national anthem performances. I've used the Kemper Profiler in the past, but honestly, I just sold that recently because this thing's taking the cake for me. I don't need to have more than what this gives me. It really feels like you're playing through a tube amp, and it's so easy to use. I don't really love having in-depth menus and getting lost in settings and setting something deep within a menu that I forgot about, and then later on I'm wondering why it sounds kind of weird and I can't figure out the thing. So for the tube amp guitar player, that type of maybe a blues rock type of player, this is more than enough for what you need. And whether you're playing the national anthem at a stadium like this, or if you're doing more of a home recording thing, it can absolutely just deliver in either setting. Speaking of the home recording setup, let's go check out how this does in my home studio. All right, so here we are back in my home studio where I'm plugged through my custom shop Strat right into the Lion pedal, right into Logic. Okay, that's all that there is. I have a reverb and delay that are on Logic, but the only pedal is the Lion pedal. So let's hear how that sounds. All right, so that's how it sounded in my home studio. And I gotta say, between the stadium and the home studio, this thing just kicks ass. It's so great. Universal Audio did a great job with the Lion pedal. I highly recommend you check it out. I love it, and I know that you'll love it too.